How Socrates in his return from Macedony to Larissa was spoiled and robbed, and how he fell acquainted with one Maro a witch. Alas, poor miser that I am, that for the only desire to see a game of trial of weapons, am fallen into these miseries and wretched snares of misfortune. For in my return from Macedony, whereas I sold all my wares, and played the merchant by the space of 10 months, a little before that I came to Larissa, I turned out of the way, to view the situation of the Count Ray there, and behold, in the bottom of a deep valley I was suddenly environed with a company of thieves, who robbed and spoiled me of such things as I had, and yet would hardly suffer me to escape. But I, being in such extremity, in the end was happily delivered from their hands, and so I fortuned to come to the house of an old woman that sold wine, called Maro, who had her tongue sufficiently instructed to flattery, unto whom I opened the causes of my long peregrination and careful travel, and of mine unlucky adventure, and after that I had declared to her such things as then presently came to my remembrance, she gently entertained me and made me good cheer, and by being pricked with carnal desire, she brought me to her own bedchamber, whereas I, poor miser, the very first night of our lying together did purchase to myself this miserable face, and for her lodging I gave to her such apparel as the thieves left to cover me withal. Then I, understanding the cause of his miserable estate, said unto him, In faith thou art worthy to sustain the most extreme misery and calamity, which hast defiled and maculated thine own body, forsaken thy wife traitorously, and dishonored thy children, parents, and friends, for the love of a vile harlot and old strumpet. When Socrates heard me rail against Maro in such sort, he held up his finger to me, and as half abashed said, Peace, peace, I pray you, and looking about lest any body should hear, I pray you, quoth he, I pray you take heed what you say against so venerable a woman as she is, lest by your intemperate tongue you catch some harm. Then with resemblance of admiration, What, quoth I, is she so excellent a person as you name her to be? I pray you tell me. Then answered he, Verily she is a magician, which hath power to rule the heavens, to bringe down the sky, to bear up the earth, to turn the waters into hills and the hills into running waters, to lift up the terrestrial spirits into the air, and to pull the gods out of the heavens, to extinguish the planets, and to lighten the deep darkness of hell. Then said I unto Socrates, Leave off this high and mystical kind of talka, and tell the matter in a more plain and simple fashion. Then answered he, Will you hear one or two, or more of her facts which she hath done, for whereas she enforceth not only the inhabitants of the Count Ray here, but also the Indians and the Ethiopians the one and the other, and also the Antic Tuns, to love her in most raging sort, such as are but trifles and chips of her occupation, but I pray you give ear, and I will declare of more greater matters, which she hath done openly and before the face of all men.